Hello everyone. So from today I'm going to take lectures on science paper 2 of 10th class of Maharashtra board. So the science paper, sorry, it is a science paper 1. So science paper 1 has total 10 chapters. Okay. So let's start with the first chapter, gravitation. So this is our government textbook for 10th standard. I have written the short note on this chapter. Okay. So the chapter includes topics gravitation, circular motion, centripetal force, Kepler's law, Newton's universal law of gravitation, acceleration to the gravity force of the earth, free fall, escape velocity. So the topic today we are going to cover are gravitation, Newton's universal law of gravitation, acceleration to the gravity force of the earth, free fall. So let's start with the chapter. First topic, gravitation. What is gravitation? So gravitation, uh, the term gravitation is directly related to gravitational force. And what is gravitational force? It is the force of attraction between two particles or two bodies because of their masses. And this phenomenon was first observed by the scientist Sir Isaac Newton. Okay. How he observed this phenomena? He seated below apple tree and watching that apple is always falling towards earth. It is not going up. So why the apple is always falling towards earth, not going up? The reason behind is that, as I already say, gravitation force is the force of attraction between two bodies because of their masses. So earth has a larger mass, so it will apply a greater gravitational force on apple, whereas apple have a smaller mass, so it will apply a less gravitational force on earth. That's why apple is always falling on earth. Newton also thought that if the force of gravitation acts on apple on tree, then it can be act on objects at a greater height and of larger shape. Okay. Newton then stated a universal law of gravitation. So let's see in the notes that I have written here. So what is the statement? Every object in the universe attracts every other object with a definite force, and the magnitude of this force is directly proportional to product of masses. Magnitude means its value, and it is directly proportional to square of the distance between them. Okay. So let's consider any two bodies. Okay. Let's consider any two bodies of masses m1, m2. Masses m1 and m2 we have considered. These two masses are separated by a distance r. Then by law, the force of attraction or gravitational force of attraction between two masses will be directly proportional to product of their masses, that is m1 m2, and inversely proportional to square of distance between them. Okay. Inversely means we have to write as a 1 by r, as it is a square of distance, that's why we have put in as a square. Let's combine these two statement as a f is proportional to m1 m2 by r square. So we have to remove this proportionality sign. So we know that whenever we have to remove proportionality sign, we have to put some constant. So here what is the constant? The constant is capital G. This capital G is called as universal gravitational constant. You can see in book also. Okay. So what is the value of this capital G? The value of capital G is 6.67 into 10 to minus 11. In SI unit, what is the unit? Newton meter square per kg square. In CGS, what will be the unit? As in CGS, the unit of force is dyne, and unit of length is centimeter, and unit of mass in CGS is gram. So the unit in CGS will be dyne centimeter square per gram square. Okay. So for what we have seen, what is the gravitational force? Okay, what is the gravitational force? Okay, what is the Newton's universal law of gravitation statement? This statement, it comes for 2 marks. Okay, and then explanation of universal of gravitation, the value of G. Let's see the properties of gravitational force. So gravitational force, I already say it is a force of attraction, so it is always attractive. It always inverse square law from the statement. It is a long range force, so this force of attraction held between two bodies which are separated by a large distance also, and it is the weakest force in nature. Weakest, the force is weakest compared to magnetic force or force of attraction between two different poles of a magnet, force of attraction between two different charges. Okay, so the force of attraction between two different poles of magnet is comparatively large compared to gravitational force. Okay, so it is the weakest force in nature. What are the examples of gravitational force or where it is found? So planets revolve around the sun because of gravitational force. Motion of moon around the earth, and as moon is our natural satellite. Okay, and other artificial satellites, we every year send a lot of satellites in space. They are also revolve around the earth because of this gravitational force. Motion of freely falling body, whenever we throw an object vertically upward, it comes on it comes or it return to earth after covering some distance. And one of the best application of gravitation force is the weight of an object. It is nothing but the gravitational force, okay, felt by an object. Let's see what is gravity, gravitational force, force due to gravity. All are similar terms. They are nothing but the gravitational force of attraction of one object on the other object. If an object has higher mass compared to other objects, then the gravitational force of that object on other objects will be comparatively more. Okay, as gravitational force is directly proportional to product of their masses. That's why. Okay, let's move ahead. What is the next topic we have to see? Earth's gravitational force. Okay, so here in the book is also there is a subtopic, Earth's gravitational force. So we already see the formula for gravitational force between two objects. See in the notes. G, if there are two masses M1 and M2 separated by a distance r, then gravitational force formula is G M1 M2 by r square. Let us consider an object is placed on Earth's surface of mass m, and Earth's mass is capital M. So distance between an object resting on Earth's surface and between the center of Earth is equal to radius of Earth. Okay, so here m1 will be equal to Earth's mass. Okay, m2 equal to object mass, and distance r is equal to radius of Earth. So this is the gravitational force formula for Earth's gravitational force formula. Okay, let's move ahead. Let me clear the drawings. Okay, so next topic is Earth's gravitational acceleration. So let's see in the book what is Earth's gravitational acceleration. So We know that according to Newton's second law, whenever a force acts on body, body results in acceleration. Acceleration means what? Change in velocity of body. Either the velocity of body will increase or decrease. So whenever force act on a body, body gets accelerated. So if Earth's gravitational force will act on a body, then body also feel an acceleration, and that acceleration is called acceleration due to gravity. Okay, or in short, gravitational acceleration. The symbol for this acceleration is small g. So we have seen the symbol capital G and small g. So let's see what is the relation. As we already derived this gravitational force formula above, and by definition of force, or by Newton's second law, what is the definition of force? Force equal to mass into acceleration. Here acceleration is equal to z, or acceleration to gravity. Let's equate this equation 1 and equation 2. Okay, so this m gets cancelled. You will get the formula for small g equal to capital G m by r square. From the formula you can see that the small g, or acceleration due to gravity, depends only on the mass of earth and radius of earth. In general, acceleration of gravity depends on the mass of planet and radius of planet. It does not depend on the mass of object placed on planet surface. Okay, it is written in the book also. Acceleration due to gravity depends only on mass m and radius r of earth. So it not depend on the object's mass. So it is same for all objects. It does not depend on the properties of object. Okay, so let's say the value of g, or its variation of g. So the value of g changes along the surface of earth. So due to rotation of earth is seen as a bulgy at equator and flatter at the poles. Okay, so radius is largest at the equator and smallest at the poles. So the value of g, as the radius is small, we already seen if the above formula, g is inversely proportional to radius. So if the radius is small at the poles, the value of g will be highest at the poles, and it decreases slowly with decrease in latitude. Okay, or what is latitude? Latitude is the angle made by uh, a point on earth's equator. So let me show you what is latitude. So if this is earth, and the earth's equator is horizontal line. Okay, just assume it is a horizontal line, and vertical line, so pole will be on vertical line. So here are two poles. Okay, and this is a earth's equator line. So what is latitude? Consider you are here at this point. So latitude is nothing but the angle made by object's position with respect to equator. So as we go up, latitude will go on increasing. Okay, at the poles the angle will be 90 with the equator. On the equator, angle will be latitude angle will be 0. I hope you have understand what is the latitude. So let's again explaining. So if you are standing at this point, so latitude is nothing but the angle made by object's position with respect to equator. So this angle is latitude angle. Okay, this angle is a latitude angle. So if object is at the poles, then latitude angle will be 90. If the object is on equator, then latitude angle will be 0. Okay, okay, so value of g is highest at the poles, and the value of g is at the poles is 9.83. Okay, and the value of g at the equator is, I think, approximately equal to 9.77 meter per second square. Okay, and let's see the change with height. As height increases, in general, acceleration of gravity at height equal to gm upon r plus h square. So as height increases, this r plus h term will increase as g is inversely proportional, so g will decreases. Height is also called as altitude. Change with depth. So as depth increases, or from this formula, uh, the distance is decreasing, so the value of g must increase. So what is written in the book, the value of g also changes if we go inside the earth. The value of r, or distance in equation, decreases. Okay, so it is saying about this formula. Okay, so if r will decrease, g must increase. But what is happening in case of the, one would think that value of g should increase as per formula. However, what is happening when we are going inside the earth, so mass of earth will decrease. So as g is directly proportional to mass, so if mass will decrease, then g will also decreases. So on account of both mass and distance, as depth increases, g also decreases. At the center of earth, value of g is 0 meter per second square, because at depth d equal to radius of earth, and at the center an object is facing force of attraction from all possible direction, and the net force at the center becomes 0. Okay, so on the surface of earth, value of g is maximum at poles. Okay, as height increases, the value of g decreases, and as depth increases, value of g again decreases, and the value of g is 0 at center of earth. Always remember, this is a MCQ question. So if the value of g is 0, then weight of an object is also 0 at center of earth. Let's see the next term, free fall. What is free fall? Free fall, the meaning of free fall is the motion of an object due to earth's gravitational force. Okay, so if we keep an object in our hand and just release that object, the object will go downward. Okay, so that this is called the free fall. So if if we throw an object up, if we throw an object up, then the value of g will be taken as negative, as object is going against the earth's direction or earth's gravitational force. If we go down, or an object is thrown in downward direction, then g is considered as positive, as object is moving in the direction of earth's gravitational force. Just remember these two lines. Okay, let's see the different cases of free fall. Okay, so we already know the kinematical equations. Okay, let me. So, what are the Newton's law of motion in kinematical equations of Newton's? V equal to u plus at, where v is final velocity, u is initial velocity, a is the acceleration, and t is time taken to accelerate. What is s? S is the displacement. Okay, for horizontal direction, for motion in horizontal direction, s is considered as a displacement. If it is a vertical direction, motion in vertical direction, then s is considered as a height. So you already said initial velocity, t is time taken to cover a displacement, s, a is the acceleration. Third equation, v is final velocity, u is initial velocity, 2 into a is acceleration, s is a displacement in horizontal direction. In vertical direction, if the motion is there, then s will replace by height. So let's see the first case. If a body falls from rest freely from a height h under gravity, then all these three kinematical equations becomes, as if it is falling from rest, so initial velocity will be 0, and it is falling towards earth's gravity, or falling vertically downwards, so a is considered as a plus g or positive g, and as the motion is vertical, so the displacement will be replaced by height h. So just put all these value in three equation, get the formula. Okay, next case, if the initial in first case the body is falling with the initial velocity as 0, let's consider if there is some initial velocity u, then just add the terms u. Okay, so it is falling downwards, that's why g is considered as a positive. Okay, let's see the next case. In third case, if a body is thrown vertically up with an initial velocity u, then this time g is considered as negative. Okay, g is considered as negative. Okay, so from the formula, as v is equal to u plus at, a becomes minus z, that's why minus z. S equal to ut plus half at square, so g is negative, that's why a is minus z, and s is replaced by h. V square equal to u square plus 2as, so s is h, so that's why s is replaced by h and a is replaced by minus z. Okay, so let's see the next topic. What is the maximum height of wrist if an object is thrown vertically upwards? Okay, so the maximum height wrist if an object is thrown vertically upward, see from this formula. From this formula, at maximum height, final velocity of object will become 0. So from this formula we get h equal to e square by 2g. Okay. So all these formulas are used in problem solving. So no need to by heart all these formulae. We will consider the cases. Just remember these basic three kinematical equations. Okay, and remember then whenever an object is moving downwards or falling downwards, g is considered as positive. When it is going up, g is considered as a negative. Okay, let's move ahead. What is the next topic? Mass and weight. Let's see in the book where it is. Mass and weight. So where is the topic? Mass and weight. I think. Okay, here is the topic, mass and weight in short. Okay, so what is the mass? It is the so mass is the quantity of matter contained in the body. And what is the weight? It is the force with which a planet attracts the body. It is constant for a body. It is not constant for a body. It does not change with the change in place. It varies from place to place due to change in the value of g. SI unit of mass is kg. SI unit of weight is Newton. Mass is a scalar quantity. What is mean by scalar? Scalar means the physical quantities which requires only magnitude or values to express. And what is vector quantity? The physical quantities which require magnitude as well as direction to express. So weight is a force, so that's why it is a vector quantity. So there is will be an additional point of differentiation. The fifth point will be what? It is a scalar. Okay, it is a scalar quantity, and what will be here? It is a vector quantity. Okay, so whenever so mass of a body is always remains constant whether an object is going on different planets and moving on different places of earth. Okay, here are the sum of the gravitational units of force. So 1 kgf and 1 gram force. So what is 1 kgf? 1 kgf is 1 kilogram force. What is 1 gf? 1 gf is 1 gram force. So 1 kgf is G Newton, and 1 GF is gram dyne. If the value of G is given, then we can take it as a 9.8 Newton, and if value of G is given in the CGS unit, then we can take it as a 980 dyne. Okay. Okay, so for today, we whatever topics we have covered this mass and weight topic, variation in value of G on surface of Earth, as on along height, along depth. Okay, and Earth's gravitational acceleration, Earth's gravitational force, and this Newton's universal of gravitation, and introduction. What is gravitation? Okay, and then let's see some problems. So this is the first problem, solved problem in the book. So what is the written problem? Mahendra and Virat are sitting at a distance of 1 meter from each other. Their masses are 75 kg and 80 kg. And what is the gravitational force between them? So it is a very simple problem. By Newton's gravitation law, what is the force between two objects is F equal to G m1 m2 by r square. The value of G is given. Okay, and mass of two objects or two bodies Mahendra and Virat is given 75-80 kg. So put there 75-80 kg, and what is the distance between them is 1 meter. So r is 1 meter. So just find out the force formula by solving and calculation, and the formula and the answer for uh, gravitational force is 4.002 × 10⁻⁷ Newton. So it is a very small force. I already said in properties gravitational force. If the masses are in a definite values, so it is the weakest force in nature, gravitational force. Okay, let's see the next example. In the above example, assuming that bench on which Mahendra is sitting is frictionless, starting with zero velocity, what is Mahendra's velocity of motion towards Virat? So the problem says that as there is a force of attraction between two bodies, so Virat will attract Mahendra. Okay, so what is the speed Mahendra's velocity in 1 second if it starts with a zero velocity? So we have find out the force of attraction in previous problem, and Mahendra's mass is 75 kg. So by definition of force, we know that F is equal to ma. So A will be equal to F by m. Just find out the acceleration. So we already see the Newton's kinematical equation. V equal to u plus at. So u is 0 as Mahendra is sitting on bench and its initial velocity is 0, and the value of A already find it, and time is for 1 second. So just find out the velocity after 1 second. Okay, so what formula we used here? A equal to F by m, and second one is this kinematical equation. Let's see another solved problem. Calculate the gravitational force due to earth on Mahendra in the earlier example. So what is the formula for gravitational force? In G equal to capital M by small m by r square. So here in Earth's gravitational force, m1 will be Earth's Earth's mass, and small m2 will be uh, Mahendra's mass. So and distance will be equal to what? Radius of Earth. Okay. So just put the all values in the formula and find out the force. Okay. What is the next problem? Starting from rest, what will Mahendra's velocity after 1 second? So it is the same problem, but the here force value is 733 Newton. So we have to use that and find out the acceleration, put this acceleration value in kinematical equation and get the velocity. Okay, so why, so here this problem is why given same as previous two problems. So on that page the masses are comparatively less than mass of earth, so that's why force of attraction is very less and the velocity is also very small. Now there is a big body or a mass, earth is a heavy mass compared to Mahendra's mass, so that's why the force of attraction will be more and the velocity is also a more. So gravitational force depends on object's mass. Okay, let's see the another problem. We are just, I'm just explaining the solved problems. We'll solve unsolved problems after completing the chapter. So let I solve this problem in my notes because the way in book it is explaining it is hard to understand. So the problem is if a person weighs 750 Newton on Earth, so weight of an object on, sorry, weight of a person on Earth is, so let's see in the notes, written notes, WE equal to 750 Newton. How much would be its weight on Moon? So we have to find out weight of person on the Moon. The mass of Moon is 1 by 81 times mass of Earth and the radius is 1 by 3.7 times that of Earth. Okay, so radius is 1 by 3.7 times radius of Earth. So written as a ratio. So we know that weight is equal to what? Mass into G, and the formula for small g is gm by r square. M is the mass of a planet, r is the radius of planet. So for Earth, let's write down the weight for formula of weight on Earth and weight on Moon. Just use the symbol uh, for Earth and for mass. Okay, divide equation 2 by 1. Okay, so the gg will get cancel out. Okay, this g and g will cancel out. The mass of Moon and mass of Earth ratio we already see above. Okay, so mass of Moon upon mass of Earth is 1 by 81 and the radius of Earth upon the radius of Moon is what? 3.7. Okay, just put the value and mass weight of person on Earth is 750 Newton. So just solve the problem and get the answer. So this is a favorite question of board. It comes for 3 marks. Okay, so just you have to just divide the formula of weight on different planets. Okay, let's see the another solve problems in the book. So these two problems are based on the free fall. So let's see the first problem. In first problem what is given? Okay, so first problem says an iron ball of mass 3 kg, so mass of object is 3 kg, released from a height of 125 meter. So displacement as is the vertical motion, so that's why height is equal to 125 meter and the value of g is assumed to be 10 meter per second square. Time taken by the ball to the reach the ground, so we have to find time to reach ground t, velocity of ball on the reaching ground, so final velocity, and height of ball at half the time. So the time when we are going to find out in first, okay, t, we have to find out the height when time is t by 2. Okay, let's see the solution. We have kinematical equation s equal to ut plus half a t square. S is replaced by h as iron ball is releasing from a height of 125 meter. So initial velocity will be 0. Okay, so just put as it is a vertically downward motion, that's why a is considered as plus g. Okay, so put all the values and find out the time always positive, so that's why only plus 5 second, not minus 5 second. What we have to find the velocity of ball on reaching the ground, so initial velocity is 0, we have to find out the final velocity on ground. So as ball will hit with some velocity on the ground, that's why v equal to plus 80. Here again a is equal to plus z, and v is what, 10 into 5, 50 meter per second. Okay, then we have to find height for half of time. Okay, so s equal to ut plus half at t square, less s is your h dash. Okay, so and initial velocity is 0, half is your plus z, time as time find out 5 second, we have to find height in half of time, that's why 5 by 2. Okay, so just put the values and find out, and this is the height from top. We have to actual height from the ground, total height is 125, so minus this height and we will get the height from the ground. Okay, so it is also a 3 marks question. Let's move ahead the sec- sec- second problem. So a tennis ball is thrown up and reaches a height of 4.05 meter before coming down. Okay, so height covered is 4.05 meter. So height is 4.05 meter. We have to find what was the initial velocity and how much total time will take to come down. And the value of g is assumed to be 10 meter per second square. So height is given. We have to find our initial velocity u. Okay, so time to go, velocity to go up. Always remember, whenever an object is thrown up and after covering height it come down, so time to go up and time to go down, both the time are same. So here we have to find a total time, just find out the time to go down and multiply with 2. So for, let's consider a downward motion, retain the formula of kinematical equation to find out displacement. Okay, so as the for downward motion, it will, when we throw an object up, after reaching a particular height it gets rest and then again come to down. So here u will be 0, that is written here. Okay, and for downward motion a is plus z. Let's consider a vertical motion, that is initial motion. For vertical motion, initial velocity will be there and final velocity will be 0, as object after covering some height becomes rest and then return to earth. So find it velocity, put this velocity in this equation. No, this is the velocity of initial motion or throwing a body up. Okay, and from this downward motion part, just find out the time of downward. Okay, so we have find out the time of downward, multiply in this time by 2, you will get the total time, that is what, 1.8 second. And this time can also be found by upward motion, v equal to u plus 80, as final velocity for upward motion will be 0, initial velocity already find 9 meter per second, and for upward motion a is minus z. Okay, so you can use these two, you can use this and this to find out velocity, initial velocity and time for both upward motion. For velocity, initial velocity, use this formula, and for time just use this formula and multiply in time t by 2, you will get total time. So these are the solved problems in book. Whatever topic we have covered, we have understood the related problems. In next lecture we will cover the remaining topics. Okay, and we'll see the some of the problems again. Thank you for